A new poll suggests that a whopping 3 million people are planning to stop paying their energy bills in response to skyrocketing prices. The Times have reported on the research. They say this. The study of the likely extent of non-payment found 6% of people intend to cancel monthly payments in October. When extrapolated nationally, this equates to 3.16 million people, about 1.7 million homes. More than half of those who plan to stop their payments say they have been inspired by the Don't Pay campaign, which is urging 1 million people to pledge to cancel their direct debits if the government takes no further action to prevent bill increases. Later in the article, they go on to say this. The research, which questioned 2,000 adults, highlights the scale of the challenge households face. It found that more than half of those questioned still did not know how they would afford to pay the new tariff, and almost 1 in 10 already knew that they would not be able to cover the cost. In an attempt to make ends meet, almost 3 in 10 planned to cut back on how much they spent on essentials such as groceries, and 1 in 10 would take on extra work. 1 in 20 intended to borrow more to help to stay afloat. Nearly 1 in 5 fear that they would not be able to keep their present home if bills kept rising. Aaron, I'm never too sure how to take seriously sort of polls like this. You're asking people about a speculative action. Will you stop paying your bills in October? Also, you're extrapolating from 6% of respondents to say that this is going to translate into 3 million people. That's actually, I'm sure the margin of error there is pretty big. But in any case, it is clear that the Don't Pay campaign has had massive impact. And also, it's very unpredictable what is going to happen this October. A lot of outcomes all are in now the realms of plausibility.
I think that's right. And one of the reasons why I don't understand people sort of hating on Don't Pay or criticizing them, don't do that. Andy Burnham said, don't do that. I don't think cutting, by the way, a direct debit is a criminal act. I think he seemed to infer that it was illegal, what they were proposing. Maybe I misunderstood him, but it's happening anyway. There is polling that suggests that I think as much as 25% of the public either can't or won't pay their bills if we see the cap rise as far as is predicted now for the beginning of next year, where we see, for some people, it will be literally unpayable. We looked at the modeling on that last week. So I think to say, well, don't pay, they've got it wrong. I think that's mistaken because it's less a case of don't pay, but can't pay. And so what I think this movement does is it politicizes the millions of people who will not pay their bills if things are as bad as we believe they will become over the next 6 months. And I think giving them agency and identifying that as a political act and the result, by the way, of economic exploitation, I think is very useful. I think in the absence of that broader umbrella, many people out there will be thinking, I'm a loser. I can't pay this. It's my fault. I failed. No, this is a political issue. You share that grievance with millions of others of people. And by the way, let's empower you and say, you know what, you're not alone. And actually, you're part of this broader movement. And millions of people will be within it. Of course they will. I think actually it'd be far more than the numbers there. If things get as bad as predicted, like I say, I think we've seen multiple polls now. I think it's 2 or 3 maybe polls suggesting that as much as 25% of people won't be able to pay their bills. And by the way, we know that the energy companies are literally preparing for this because I think it was the Mail on Sunday, not yesterday, or no, yesterday's Friday, not last Sunday, the Sunday before, which basically did this great story about the energy companies buying tens, hundreds of thousands of these units for prepay energy because they know very likely many people won't be able to pay their bills. They will literally get into those houses, turn off the energy, completely reconfigure their systems so they have a pay-as-you-go system. That's what they intend to do if things are as bad as they think they might be. So this is happening. And I think it's brilliant that it's been politicized so overtly by the Don't Pay campaign.